I am a deemed essential federal employee, which means that for me, I am at work 40 hours a week, business as usual. On October 9th, we received a partial paycheck, roughly 70% what we're used to getting. On October 24th, when we were supposed to be paid, we were paid nothing. Our LESs issued have $0 on them. Oh, but you'll be paid back. Okay, yeah, that is true. Once the government resolves this and reopens, we will be paid back. That is true. That is true. However, many of us do not have creditors or debtors willing to work with us, willing to put things on pause without charging us late fees, without sending our names into the credit bureaus for late payments. And many people fail to understand that there are going to be costs associated with this government shutdown that will be covered by the employees and will not be reimbursed. And I know so many people are going to say, well, you should have been prepared. You should have had savings. But even with those folks that are having to use savings, if you're pulling out thousands of dollars from a high interest savings account, you will not be collecting interest on that money. That is still a cost that is going to go on you that the government's not going to reimburse. So even the most prepared person, someone that has 20 grand just sitting in savings for funsies, for a rainy day, is still going to incur costs that they should not have to incur. That is not supposed to be placed on them because their employer can't get their shit together. But let's be honest, let's be real. Look around. Medical costs are through the roof. Housing is simply unaffordable and insanely overpriced. Groceries are going up almost daily. Many people do not have 3, 4, 5, 6 months of money just sitting around. Anyone that's had any emergency, maybe they bought a house and had to put the down payment, maybe they just got married and funded a wedding. It doesn't really matter, but having savings right now to the level that everybody seems to think we should have is not at all that realistic. It's just not. So here are some things that government employees are having to front because the government won't reopen. Late fees. Any bill that we just simply cannot pay, those bills are incurring late fees. The government will not be reimbursing that once we reopen. Overdraft fees, because of bills coming out on auto pay, those overdraft fees will not be reimbursed by the government. Lost interest on money that we're having to pull from savings. The government will not be reimbursing that money once the government reopens. Interest being charged on credit cards. Many federal employees are living on credit cards right now at 22%-ish that we can't pay at the end of the month, that we can't pay as we charge. That's going to be quite a bit of interest that many of us are going to be paying that the government will not be reimbursing. Many people are having to take out loans on their TSP, which is essentially like a 401k through your company. A loan on a TSP costs $50 processing, and then there's interest on the loan, and then you're not earning the money on the money that's in there should by chance you earn money on that. Those are costs that the government will not be reimbursing. And I'm sure there's other hidden costs that the government will not be reimbursing, but those are just some of the costs that people don't think about or don't consider. Whether or not it's a high amount doesn't really matter. Whether it's $30 one time or hundreds of dollars over the span of weeks is irrelevant. These are costs associated with the government shutdown that are falling on the employees, the ones that are keeping essential services open for the American people while insanely stressed out. Morale is low. Tensions are high. People are getting squirrelier and squirrelier. The energy just around government work right now is dark and it's hard. But many of us keep showing up, going to work, slapping a smile on our faces. Business as usual. With piles of work just burying us. And it's painful. But we keep doing it. Because once upon a time, we liked these jobs, and some of us are close to retirement, being vested into that program. Some of us don't know where else we would go in an economy where jobs are disappearing. People are unemployed for 6 months or more. Quitting isn't an option. So please, please be easy on government employees when you're dealing with them. If you're a creditor that can cut them a break, please cut them a break. Be kind to them when you're going into their offices. They are stressed. They're spending so much time in grocery stores or in the car, in the parking lot of the grocery stores crying because they've had to tell their kids that they can't have something that's not essential. These are employees that have worked hard for 10, 15, 20 years in the same agency. This is unacceptable. So I just wanted to call attention to these unthought about expenses that we're all incurring and that we will not be paid back. To be clear, these will not be paid back. So these are costs to the federal employees that are working under duress at this time. So please be easy on them. Treat them with kindness and respect.